Gordie Kraft, and I know Gordie is a familiar face to a lot of you out there. Gordie was a classmate of Katie, class of '58. Gordie comes from a true McCaskey family. His mother, Anna McMillan Kraft, graduated from what was then Stevens High School in 1929. Gordie's father, Edward Kraft Sr., was assistant principal of McCaskey from 1955 to 1969. I remember him very well, Gordie. I graduated in '62, and Mr. Kraft was responsible for getting me an interview at Armstrong Pork Company. Gordie's wife, Yvonne Leggett Kraft, graduated from McCaskey in 1959. His 6 brothers and sisters also graduated from McCaskey. Gordie and Yvonne's daughter, Heidi Kraft Cody, served on the Lancaster School Board from 1991 to 1999, and I think that Gordie's wife, Shirley, Mayor Kraft, class of '57, and his wife, Heidi Kraft Cody, is here this morning. Yeah, it's been a long day already, and it's only a little after 8. Are they with us this morning? Yes, right down front. And Gordie and Yvonne also have 2 sons, G. Douglas and Zachary. Now, while at McCaskey, Gordie lettered in swimming, football, and track. He was co-captain of the 1957 Central Penn Championship football team. After graduating from McCaskey, Gordie went to Franklin Marshall College, where he lettered in the same 3 sports. And you still hold the record for javelin. No, you don't hold that anymore? That was wrong. All right, scratch that. I don't hold the record for javelin. That's out. Oh, we were going to give you another honor, Gordie. All right. You have any record standing? No? We're going to have to think about this award now. Gordie graduated from F&M with a degree in math. He began teaching and coaching at his alma mater, McCaskey, in 1962. That was the year I graduated, left here. I don't think we should read anything into that, should we? Okay. Gordie came and I left. Gordie continued his education. He received a master's degree from Temple University. He also studied with Lafayette College and became certified to teach math and Russian language. While at McCaskey, Gordie was an assistant football coach for 32 years. In 1967, he became assistant track and field coach. He took over the head coaching duties of the track team in 1970. He remained head track and field coach until his retirement in 1997. He also served as head coach of the swimming and diving team for the 1965, 66, and 70 seasons. But let's go back to Gordie's track teams. For the 28 years that Gordie was head coach of the boys track team, the boys track teams had a record of 272 wins and 14 losses. The 17 years that Gordie was head coach of the girls track teams, they had a record of 104 wins, 68 losses. And while head coach, Gordie's boys track team brought to McCaskey 11 district championships. His girls' teams made the city of Lancaster proud by bringing to McCaskey 2 state titles and 4 district champions. Gordie has also served as a PIAA swimming and diving and track and field official. He's past president of the Lancaster County Officials Club. In 1999, Gordie was honored with the prestigious Lancaster Sports Writers and Sportscasters George W. Kirkner Award for outstanding contributions to sports in Lancaster County. And this is quite a week for Gordie because later this week he will be inducted into the Susquehanna Valley chapter of the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame. Gordie retired from McCaskey in 1997 after 35 years as a teacher, a coach, an advisor, a friend, an inspiration to thousands of McCaskey students. Gordie Kraft has touched so many lives, and he continues to do so. You will see Gordie Kraft at McCaskey track meets with the stopwatch around his neck and often an arm around an athlete, student athlete, offering advice. And that little touch that Gordie has always given to the students here at McCaskey High School. He now joins the proud ranks of McCaskey's distinguished alumni. Ladies and gentlemen, Gordie Kraft, class of 50.
Well, everybody has taken their time plus mine, so I don't have too much time to speak, which is probably good for you because I'm not the best of speakers. I might have done some of the things he said, but that's not the same as standing up and talking. Big difference. But Mr. Stahl, was the president of our school board here, right? And I didn't recognize her at first, but Mrs. Kaufman's two sons were on our track team and swim team, and after one, Pete Kaufman, writes for the sports, for the Intel. Pete Kaufman does the sports, that's her son. McCaskey grad, honored guest. You already met my wife and daughter there. It's really a special honor to be here. I certainly don't feel I belong here, but here I stand. And I'd like to thank the Alumni Association for picking me. I don't know, they saw some in me, I guess, that I should have this award. It's very humbling. I'd like to especially thank Mrs. Garafola, who I know personally puts in a lot of time for McCaskey, promoting McCaskey, and organizing this event and many other things that she does. And when she sent us letters announcing that we were going to be inducted today, she asked us to speak, as I said, what McCaskey meant to me as a student and what it means to me today. And I'll keep it short. I think, and I hope you feel the same. First of all, it meant a lot to me as an academic end of things. They referred to teachers. They were very special to me. And learning, preparing me for going to college. When I went to college, I went to F&M. When I went there as a freshman, I found that I was better prepared than most students coming from New York, New Jersey, wherever. I was well prepared. And I hope you appreciate that when you're here now, when you leave, the opportunities that you have, whether you go to college or not. One of my brothers was in the vocational program and became an auto mechanic. He had that opportunity. So whatever you decide to do, take advantage of the academic end of things here at McCaskey. And that meant a lot to me. It means more to me now when I look back at it than it did at the time, perhaps. But I know there was a lot of homework. I hope you all do your homework. An hour or so a night was not unusual homework. And we didn't like that, but it meant a lot that we had to do that. That was one of the things. I think that was number one. The teachers, the academics, the tests, all the challenges. That meant a lot to me. I needed that in order to succeed, because it'd be easy to be lazy and do nothing if you weren't challenged. And so that was important. That means a lot. Sports meant a lot. And activities. I was in sports, 3 sports here. Fortunately, when we were here, we were members. I was a member of the football team that was the Central Penn champions. I was on the swimming team and the relay team that won the state championship. I was on the track team that was undefeated and district champion. So I was very, very fortunate. But that meant a lot to me, to be able to go out and represent McCaskey with my teammates. So, and other activities. I was involved with the Vedette you know, we supported each other a lot. Musicals, my wife was involved a lot with the music programs and all those things. So that meant a lot, to be able to have the opportunity to participate in whatever you wanted to do. Get involved. Just don't go home at 3 o'clock or 2:52 or whatever your excuse is. You know, be involved, you know, and get things. And I know a lot of you are, and I know there's a lot of students that aren't here because they're on the band trip or the gospel choir, but they're involved. It'll mean much more to you, the school, if you get involved and do things. It's a little late for some of the seniors perhaps that aren't involved, but for you juniors, and maybe there's some sophomores here too, get involved. That means a lot. You meet a lot of friends and you have a lot of good memories. And the third thing, and I think in some ways the most important thing to me, what McCaskey meant, were my friends. Some of them were on the sports teams, and some of them are still my best friends. A lot of them weren't. I mean, Katie was a friend. We weren't as close and as tight as some people, but we're still friends. That's great. Where's Mr. Myers? Would you stand up? Some of you know Mr. Myers. He was in my class in high school. He's still teaching. Although he's retiring this year, class of 58. You know, we're very proud. And I know, like Buddy's class 67, that was a great class. We're very proud of that class. And people, it's people, mean a lot. And I think that's what you got to appreciate. The person sitting next to you, around you, your teachers, the staff, you know, your fellow students. That is the number one important thing. You know, to get along together, as Mr. Chris said, about an attitude, a good attitude, and you know, there are people perhaps that you don't maybe see eye to eye with, but still, you know, they're relationships that you establish for your whole life. Every 5 years, our class has a reunion. Great time. And I hope that you're planning for that in the future. And I hope you all attend. Some people don't go to the reunions, maybe I don't know why, but a lot of people do, and it's great. You know, it's one of those things that, being from McCaskey, it means a little bit more than just from Hempfield or Manham Township, in my opinion, because you know you came from good roots. Excuse me, I'm fighting this cold. But you know, you have to have a lot of pride, personal pride, family pride, McCaskey pride. They all go together. There's a lot of people in this auditorium, including you students, who've had brothers and sisters, maybe parents that went to school here. And we're very proud of that. And I want you to be as proud. So, again, I'd like to excuse me, thank you very much for this. I tell you, teaching here and coaching here for 35 years didn't seem like that long, you know, and it was great. It was great, and a lot of students, you know, he mentioned, Dick Hawksworth mentioned some of the accomplishments the track teams and sports teams had that I coach with. Well, I was part of that, but, you know, there was a lot of work, a lot of hard work, a lot of athletes put through to get there. And it wasn't just because of me, it's because of McCaskey. You know, and you can be very proud of what they've done, and it is on top, it's on your responsibility to continue that hard work and, you know, and doing the best that you can do. And I really do appreciate it. I'm going to sit down. I know I went more than my 3 or 4 minutes. I was going to have someone time me, but I didn't, so here I am. But anyhow, thank you very much. I'm going to hang around during the day, maybe see some of my former teachers that we used to teach together. I miss them a lot, and maybe I'll stop in with some pre-calc class and give some notes to you. Okay? Thanks.
Thank you, Gordie. And I know this was a special morning for Gordie because a good friend of his and a former teacher at McCaskey, Bernie Santinello, who also was an assistant football coach with Gordie. Bernie and Gordie were supposed to go fishing this morning, right? And Gordie said no, he had something more important to do. So I know this, for Gordie to pass up an opportunity to go fishing with Bernie, it has to be